So I'm going to hum a little for you. Do, 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 do. Hi, I'm Megan, and welcome to Anomaly Presents, the podcast about genre films that inspired a genre film festival. That festival is Anomaly, the Rochester Genre Film Festival, that is happening this November 8th through 13th in Rochester, New York, which is why we called it the Rochester Genre Film Festival and not like the Buffalo one, because then you'd go to the wrong city and you'd be sad. And the awesome thing is, it is our 5th year. And check this out. Check this out. I've got visuals. We have early ghoul passes and T-shirts and hoodies available right now. So go to anomalyfilmfest.com/store and there's really cool stuff, and you can give us money and see films with us. Trust us. It's good stuff. Don't worry about it. Just buy the pass. Buy the pass. Buy the ticket to the ride.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Perfect
I did the
pitch.
intro. Woo woo.
Crush it. You nailed it.
So joining me are my fellow podcastronauts. KP, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Hey, everybody. And good evening. It's my first time watching this movie that we're about to discuss. Very excited.
I'm so excited. And Dan?
Oh, well, hello. This is not my first time seeing this movie, but I forgot so much of it. And that might have been on purpose. We'll find out.
Aaron, thank you. Aaron says I crushed it, and it's not just because Aaron's my sister. But that is part of it. Thank you. Everybody, get your own sister when you're doing podcasts, okay? It feels very good. Okay, so tonight we're talking about a very special movie, a sequel that really built upon the deep lore of the first film. We are talking about Mannequin on the Move, or Mannequin 2 on the Move, depending if you looked at the DVD cover or not, from 1991. Because technically, this title does not have a 2 in it, but I think they thought people would be confused when they started promoting it. So they put that 2 on there. But I like that it swung for the fences. It was like, no. We don't need that 2. This is our own thing.
This is Mannequin on the Move. On the
Exactly.
move.
Yeah,
exactly.
I had a moment where I was like, when you read Mannequin on the Move, I think, oh, maybe this is like a road trip movie. And I'm like, no, she literally moved from one country to another and then remained stationary. We remained in, was it Pittsburgh?
Philadelphia?
Philly or Pittsburgh? It's in Pennsylvania.
They have cheesesteaks.
They do.
They do have cheesesteaks, so it's got to be Philly.
I like how it's food-based. I think it's Philly because they had cheesesteaks.
It's because that's
any landmark
where the department store is.
Oh, yeah, Wanamaker's.
So apparently the store has had some stuff happen. I don't understand how they've papered it over and started anew, as if this stuff hasn't happened before.
It's so weird.
And one of the most exciting bits of information about Mannequin on the Move, it is directed by Stuart Raphael, whose work we have talked about before on the show, because he directed Tammy and the T-Rex. So apparently, we're big fans, because when we decided Mannequin 2, it was not because of the director.
No,
it was a pleasant surprise.
No, yeah, that's just a bonus. He also directed Mac and Me, which I feel like we should do at some point.
Okay. He's also directed Ice Pirates, which I would also like to do on the show. You know what? We're gonna pepper his work through this entire podcast. We're big fans.
We're a Steve Raffel podcast now.
Apparently.
That's right. We're ready.
We're gonna cover all 13 of his movies.
And it was so. Before we get into the plot, it was so nice to see Terry Kaiser once again in a Stuart Raphael movie, because he was the villain in Tammy and the T-Rex, and he's the villain in this one too. A man whose work is known by an entire generation, my generation, as being a corpse.
Yeah.
In 2 films.
There's two.
What kills me about Weekend at Bernie's is that both Mannequin films have that connection.
Yeah.
Because we have Andrew McCarthy for the first one, and now we have Bernie himself.
And it's about inanimate objects that either had a life or given life again.
Is this all in the same universe?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Did Andrew McCarthy then go on to take Kaiser's
comfortable
Mannequin and now it's Bernie.
I think we got to go deep into this. Aaron said Tammy the T-Rex is why they don't trust animatronics. It's a good point. So I mean, the animatronic was the good guy. He had oh my god, it's another inanimate object given life.
Yeah, and all idiots.
He's really got a thing. Also,
yeah,
yes.
Oh my god, he loves idiots and inanimate objects.
Yeah, he loves some morons.
Yeah,
and we get a trio of them here. Who are they dubbed over? Like, someone dubbed them over, right? Because that seems weird when they move their mouths.
It's very odd. Like, it's not quite right. And I like looking through this. They don't really have filmographies, so I was like,
maybe he
what
just
is
got
their
buff
story?
dudes.
Because they're definitely like their names are not super pronounceable.
Bless them. Not the best actors, but their whole job is to be kind of like pseudo-Germanic himbos. And I think they do that fine.
They nailed it. Yeah.
I believed they were himbos. I really
They went
did.
to the closest gym. And they said, we're taking you for American Gladiator, but really it was just Mannequin move.
Oh my god. That's their aesthetic. Amazing.
Pretty much. I mean, for 91, that could have been their other gig.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we got to talk about the plot of the second Mannequin film, because they went a little like fairy tale this time.
Yeah.
Big into the fantasy lore of mannequinism.
Yeah, like there's legit a little short film in the beginning, so so we can understand why, instead of just like, oh, they won't believe that there's another mannequin that needs to be brought back to life. So we have to have a story about this like country and a peasant girl and a prince who loves her and an evil wizard and a queen.
Yes.
And there's some sword fighting. Like they try to make like a little medieval film in the beginning with what they had, which was not a lot.
Milking that budget. They said we got $13 million and we are going to use every bit of it.
They were like, this Renaissance fair is not open yet, so we're going to shoot this real quick.
Yeah. And we get the I don't know if it's a thing that makes it possible, which is a cursed necklace. That when our they call her the peasant girl most of the time, right?
It's Jessie. Yeah. Jesse's her name.
Jessie, like peasant girl.
She has it on, and then I guess here's my thought. Okay, all right, and maybe I just play too many TTRPGs, right? But I think that you have to decide what the curse is before you put it on, and instead of putting a curse on, then everyone gets to add their own element to it. Because like the evil
build your own curse.
On her, she becomes a statue, which is just a mannequin. But then the prince was like, okay, fine, but the kingdom's cursed for 1,000 years. And then they bring up, or she finds true love's kiss. Like, this is all added after the fact, and I think that's a lot. Not being magic use.
Yeah, it's basically just a college drinking game at that point. Like. You're kind of just playing kings.
Yeah. While we're here, any other add-ons? Like we get some shrimp on the side. We get a little shooter of rum.
Right. You need to be kissed at dawn. Like,
God, it was just. I was like, you know what? Okay, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it got a little nuts. I was like,
yeah.
Okay. So does everyone have magic, or is that like? Are normal, like, people that don't have magic are like the outliers in this world? So many questions, and
who knows?
Well, we will never know.
That, I appreciate the ambition of this opening, though.
Yeah, they went for it. They went full in, and I mean, and it looks great, for like a medieval fantasy period piece that is like.
They stayed mostly, They stayed mostly in the woods and on a bridge. Yeah. They were very safe.
They were smart. Yes, they were smart.
Simple.
For 91, it could have been. Free.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the hair.
The woods are free. One permit. That's all we need.
Oh my God, her hair. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. The amount of hair. Okay. Wow. Okay. So, then we go boom, modern day Philly, and so we meet our protagonist. Okay, listen, no shade to William Ragsdale here, from Fright Night, right?
Yeah,
I liked him. I liked him in Fright Night. I feel like his character here is a little bit like,
He's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, maybe part of it. Like he's a guy. He's giving it a little more for when he's being the prince, but then everyone's hamming it up there.
True.
Or when he dances. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that later. Like he's not bad. He's just like, oh, okay. Like he's a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very serviceable.
Yeah, there we go.
Like,
yes.
You showed up. Okay.
He showowed up.
Yeah, he's very generic leading man. Nothing.
Yeah.
He's no Andrew McCarthy.
Well, I mean, who is, right? Though I do like his we see his morning routine for his new job. I don't understand is it looks like they have money, right? Because he lives with his mom in this like giant house with a wrought iron like fence thing, but he has a crap Jeep.
Yeah, it's weird. And like I don't understand the dynamics of that mother-son relationship. I was like, it feels largely unnecessary.
Yeah. I mean, and she's the queen from the beginning. So I thought, oh, then is that going to carry on? No, she just seems like a nice mom who runs a video dating service, which I love.
Amazing. Like,
yeah, I was like, I love her. She's amazing.
Quintessential late 80s, early 90s. Like, how are we getting these kids together? Video dating service.
Yeah, which I just love because it just sets a certain time. But yes, I love that he's like so he's driving. He's eating the breakfast his mom ran out to him. He's putting on his shirt and his like suit coat. He's brushing his teeth and rinsing his mouth with I think a Diet Coke.
Not safe. None of this is safe.
No.
He is like, I think that's what cracks me up is most women would not ever be impressed by this young man because he's feels very much like 18, 19-year-old boy who just graduated like high school.
A man child.
Yeah. He's related to a prince from 1,000-year-old curse, which really works for him.
Thank goodness. Because
well, listen, and also she's a peasant. They made sure she was a peasant. She wasn't royalty, so that she could be wowed by everything.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I think that was a good time to talk. So our peasant, Jesse, I keep forgetting. Anyway, played by Christy Swanson,
Buffy,
the original
Slayer.
Yeah, original Buffy. And as I was telling KP earlier, I was like, oh yeah, she was in Flowers in the Attic. We all saw that at way too young an age.
I watched that movie so many times. I think it was on Lifetime constantly.
Oh,
the time.
Constant. It was always on. It was so what a weird movie to show all the time.
Is that the murder sibling incest movie? Let's watch it again.
Yeah, no, it's
the cookies. Yes, I love this part.
When they go to kill the mom, I was like, or like the wedding. I'm like,
you're like, do it.
Every time. I don't know what it is. And about once a year.
I'm 11 going, murder that bitch.
Yeah, get her.
Every time.
Every time that, like, once a year, I remember that Flowers in the Attic exists, and I just go back and like reread like the Wikipedia of the books because it is madness. The first book has nothing on the rest of that story.
I read the first book. I never got the others. I did the same thing you did, where I'm like, well, where does this go? Holy shit!
Madness.
Bonkers.
It's so insane.
Welcome, Celador. You have thoughts on Mannequin? That's fantastic because we're going to talk a little about Mannequin as we talk Mannequin too. Because I mean, they're linked because of Hollywood.
Yes,
the best.
Oh yeah,
the best. Yeah. Okay, so well, actually, this is a good time. God. Okay, so here's what I don't understand, and maybe you have an answer. So our hero, main character, shows up at work. He gets checked in by the security guy who we can talk about him and the whole, like, I guess just keep asking that girl out and eventually when you hairspray mace people, she'll love you. But when he gets there, right? And then the guy who's working for Hollywood gets fired. And then all of a sudden there's an opening. What did they hire him for? That guy didn't get fired till after he was hired. Did they just hire him and just think, well, we'll find a job for him? How does this company work?
Yeah, it was very strange. It's like for a clearly successful department store, you don't actually seem to know what's happening in your department store. And Mr. James clearly prides himself on running a tight ship, but doesn't seem to know who anybody is or what they do. Except for the
No.
two
person
yes
one,
men.
person two, person three. That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's I don't. But you know what? I think we learn a little more about Isn't it played by Stuart Rankin, which I have trivia about him in a second. But yeah, the boss, like we learn a little bit more about him. Like he's trying the video dating, and I thought, oh, that humanizes him. This guy's kind of a mess, and and it's interesting that like in the end he's on the side of good. It takes him a while. He's just a little uptight.
yes.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay. He's just
Yeah.
like an uptight guy who thinks if he says stuff a lot, it gets written down and it rhymes. And it rhymes.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
what
was
business
killing
is.
me.
That was
Yeah. But like, so we have like basically an accident. Someone drops a mannequin in front of him, gets fired. He turns around. Our hero's there, and he gets that job. And then thank God, finally, we find the connected
man.
thread. We
The
go
myth.
and we find Hollywood Montrose,
Oh,
played by
man.
Meshach Taylor. I think the only character that is from the first film.
So
Yeah.
I think so, but
Only character, but
that's
2 actors.
okay. Because the security guard and the girl, what was it, Gail? They were giving me the vibes from the
Oh,
first
they-
movie. Remember, like the Andrew, was it Jonathan? Jonathan's ex
Yeah.
was that uptight brunette, and then the security guard
Oh.
at the end, like
They're
thought,
very, very similar. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't, that was probably
I'd have to go back and
unintentional, but
check. That's
Yeah.
I
that's
don't
something I've
think it's
seen. Yeah.
I don't think it's actually them, but that was
It's very similar.
the impression that
vibes,
I
though.
got.
Yeah. And the guy that played the security guard was in Mannequin, but played a
Oh.
different character.
Oh,
He
was
wasn't a security
Yeah, he
guard.
was the janitor. See, I thought he was the
Yeah.
janitor.
Oh,
So,
oh my God. Oh
so
my
that's
God.
what I'm
Yeah,
I
thinking.
want
He
to
got
think it is the same
fired from
character.
he got fired from the other place and then hired
Now he
at
has-
this department store, because remember it was 2 different department stores.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
First one.
What are the odds? What are the odds that he was in 2 different department stores in the same city that had mannequin shenanigans?
He followed. No, it's because he
Oh, okay.
followed Jonathan there. That's why.
Oh,
Okay, I like that.
yeah.
I like that. I
Because
like
he
that.
remember
I like
he
that.
dove into the mannequin bodies at
Oh
the
my
end.
God, you're right.
That's
That
right.
was-
He
oh my
did dive
I
in there.
forgot it was that guy.
Yeah.
KP, thank you. Thank you.
It's because I did the double feature back to back.
Ah, well, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Aaron does want us to know that Cat Michael Purry has not stopped meowing since film started. She has opinions. Cat Michael
Yes.
Purry is my sister's cat.
Yes.
That looks a little like Chad Michael Murray. Fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. So we see Hollywood, thank God. And he is a man who knows how to work the system, because he's making his
yeah.
own artistic statement. Because, okay, we forgot to explain how the mannequin is getting here, which I don't understand the business practice here.
No.
The mannequin, the statue, they call it a statue.
Yeah. The
and-
statue from what? It's from the other country, right? Was it like
Yeah.
supposed to be Europe, right? Yeah.
And it's become
Hatburg
like
Koenig.
it has a dash in it.
Yeah.
And it's become like for some reason a tourist attraction. Like come
No, it's
come
on
see
brand.
this statue. Yeah. And okay, so I'm assuming the evil wizard has something to do with making it the idea of like, oh my God, we're gonna take it on tour to a department store where they're gonna do a musical number and then show this statue.
I was wondering. I was like, why isn't this in a museum?
Right? I thought,
Is
need
this
to make
supposed
money,
to be
I don't
a
know.
sculpture from
yeah. You know what?
600
Even
years
the
ago?
movie's
That's
like,
fascinating.
listen, it's a mannequin. We can't pretend it's a statue. It belongs in a department store.
Oh yeah, they said she was like, yeah, it belongs in a museum cellar door. So
in a museum.
Yeah, we're on the same side. Yeah, we're out.
well, I think it's at some point in the beginning they say she's made of wood.
They do, which is nuts. Because she clearly is not.
That girl, fiberglass.
Right?
Like,
They needed to use some of that $13 million to put towards making a wooden
God.
Christy Swanson.
So apparently she's not just going to be on display. There's going to be a whole number, and our uptight boss has been assured by Hollywood that this will be demure and fanciful, but instead he's doing a full 90s fly girl
Vogue,
fantastic
production.
because
Perfection.
Hollywood knows entertainment and knows that's what's gonna sell. But I love that Hollywood knows exactly like, oh no, everything's going great. I'm not going to show you any of this until it's actually being shown, because the artist must art.
I laughed so hard when he was like hiding behind the curtain and he was pretending like, he was Oz. Like,
Oh my God,
from the Wizard of Oz, he was like,
you can't see any of this
so much.
And also it works. Like, he has that position of power where he basically can tell the boss, well, I'm doing it my way. And there's nothing you can do about it, because I was behind the amazing display windows from that other place.
That's probably what it is.
It's
where
incredible.
He has enough power. Jonathan got him and is like, listen, this is the man. You need to, it wouldn't be possible without him.
Man, I want that job. Imagine they have so much. Like, I'm so good at windows that I can also choreograph stuff.
Also, like, at what point in time were we building department stores that have entire rehearsal stages? Like, I was like, not only do you have like a storeroom, you have a literal rehearsal stage with flies and light. I was like, this is amazing. I love that this is a department store. In no world does this.
We lost something when they stopped doing that stuff they never did.
I'm thinking, I'm like picturing it now, department store that's like a local community theater with a wing to get government money or something.
Oh my God.
It's incredible.
And yet, like
what a
when
building.
I'm watching the movie, I'm not questioning it. Of course. I think Hollywood probably had them build it.
That's a good point. He probably did.
Yeah, because I'm picturing him. I know we were joking about him being like, yes, I designed windows, but he could be like the, I don't know, like some immersion.
Oh yeah.
Kind of, you know what I mean? Being like, we're creating a whole experience here.
Yeah.
Like at this department store.
He is a showman and a salesman. He knows what he has to do to get his vision across. And I guess as artists, we appreciate that.
Yep.
It's true.
Plus, he had scissor glasses on, which were amazing. Oh, God.
Those were insane. And like, I immediately wanted a pair. Like, I completely forgot about the scissor glass. I mean, I probably didn't register the last time I watched it because there's so much happening. But I was like,
if I can get those prescription.
They carry over the crazy glasses from the first movie, so we're gonna keep giving him crazy sunglasses.
All the fashion, and plus I like that his wardrobe became a little more early 90s. You know, he moves with the time, of course. I love it.
Hip. He's fashionable.
Yeah, and he's got is that a Cadillac? Is that a pink Cadillac?
It's the pink Cadillac from the first movie that says "bad bitch" as the vanity plates.
You know what? There's 3 characters that come over. And one of them is that car, which I love. It's beautiful.
It's so good.
In the first movie, when he took the time, they're rushing, and he takes the time to put the cover on it. That is custom. It's a custom cover.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is.
That man knows.
That is cinema.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a character beat. We know a lot about him from that.
Yep.
Which I love.
It speaks volumes to Hollywood.
So I guess they our hero in Hollywood kind of like I guess Hollywood just kind of rolls with they're just gonna stick employees with them, and maybe one of them will be interesting. And this one, I guess, is sort of interesting, but there's
interesting enough.
He likes him because he's like, one, it does sound like he's just rolling with the punches, kind of. He's like, here we go again. But also, like, Jason has no brain to mouth filter and is just like saying reckless things directly in front of Mr. James. Like, oh, okay, since this is like the 7th person, then I shouldn't be worried about the pension plan. Like, reckless behavior. And so Hollywood's like, oh, he'll be fun for a while until he gets fired. But, you know, we could have a good time.
They're like, good, you got me another dumb white dude. Thanks.
Yeah. He's just like, this will be fun at least.
Right. And it works out because there's an emergency with the statue. Somehow the truck is like hanging off a bridge. So Hollywood grabs his new intern employee and they drive off. I don't know what their plan is, but when they get
you're
there,
gonna what? Like
they get there.
What was your plan of action?
Yeah.
What?
But he brought the guy who sees a mannequin fall into the water and just without missing a beat takes off his jacket and jumps in the water.
Yeah,
because I'm like, here's the thing: we've established it was made of wood, right?
Yeah.
Just give it a second. She'll float up.
Yeah.
You do not have to plunge yourself in that river, sir.
True. That's true. Yes, it was all very odd.
Yeah, I mean, I know they want that shot where he's underwater and he's like, "Oh,
I
is
mean, it
she
looked
real?" But
great.
also, I'm
Yeah.
like, she's wood. It's
She will
okay.
she will float. She will float.
Yeah,
She
And
will she will float.
Salvador, you were right about
yeah,
Jason and Jonathan from the first movie are both his
Mm,
Jack Burton. And
yes. You know, we
that's
should
true.
we should have a count. Is his protagonist a Jack Burton
yeah,
or a
because
Buckaroo Banzai?
both of
Are they
Yeah.
are they completely incapable or over capable? Ooh, I
We
like
gotta
this. We can create a little scale.
introduce. I
Yeah.
was just about to say we need a Jack Burton scale. Wait,
yeah,
I'm moving it up a notch. Boop 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 boop, and it's just Jack in
it's
the
him.
chair going backwards
Yes.
towards
yeah.
the well.
I can write it
Yeah.
on the whiteboard next to me, and then I
Yes.
can do
Thank you,
character
thank you.
cutouts, and then just where
That's
are
amazing.
they on the scale?
I think this part of the movie,
Full
he's pretty
in.
close to the well. He's
He's
about
Oh,
to go
yeah.
full Jack
He is.
Burton.
He's big
He's
dumb.
about to go on two legs. Yeah. He's tipping back in that chair.
I
So he
loved it.
saves
Ugh.
her, right? He drags
Yep.
her out, and then they take her in the car, but the goons are like not happy about that, right?
Yes,
Also-
our three goons that we meet, as we mentioned, the pseudo Germanic himbos. I mean, they're the more wider comedy part of this film. I don't know if they always work because there's a lot of yelling
There's
at
a
each
lot
other.
of weird yelling. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot.
The
Yeah.
accents, and the
Yeah.
yelling.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a lot.
I guess like I feel like you could condense it into like one guy,
One goon, yeah, one
the
goon.
Kronk.
There.
They needed
Yeah.
a
I was
Kronk.
gonna say
They
that.
need
I'm
a
like
Kronk,
one. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just need one. They want to go
Yeah.
on their
Yeah.
trip though. They're a package deal.
They want to go to Bermuda. Yeah. They called
Yeah.
they come together. It
That
is what it
dramatic
is.
yell at the end took me out.
Oh God, so
Couldn't give a shit
part
that
where-
he's dead. No, Bermuda.
when they're so since Hollywood and the rest took off in the car, you have the three goons and they need to get to the department store too. So one of them takes off his shirt because he knows, and they hitchhike, and then you have the two trash worker ladies who are like, oh
Scoop
hey,
them up. They literally pick them up and like throw. Does it?
yes,
do
they
Throw them
first they pick
in
them in the
the
scoop.
garbage
I'm like,
truck.
okay, and then they literally just go like make a little note and they put them in the garbage for some reason.
Isn't
I was like,
that-
these ladies.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
are
they're
not
gonna, they're gonna,
interested
like,
in these three guys.
right. That's
No.
at first I felt like, oh, they're gonna ask for. Oh no, they just tossed them right in the garbage.
Wasn't
I get
there-
it. I get them now. Okay,
I was
Wasn't
like, good for
there
you.
a garbage truck bit in
well played movie.
Tammy and the T-Rex?
Oh,
Isn't that how
they're
they
in luck because you see the T-Rex head. Is it the?
Yeah, I'm like, is it a garbage truck? I can't
Oh,
remember.
crap. You know what? When we do our Stuart raffle episode, I will do the string board, and I'm gonna make all the things that he likes to talk about in his films. We're
Have a
gonna
Stuart
crack this
Raffle
nut.
retrospective, and
We're gonna
it's
crack this nut.
gonna be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then oh God, we forget we met the villain a little earlier when they arrived
Oh
on
my
the day, and I
God.
guess the entire department store had to go to meet this dude on a plane.
To welcome him, and they think he's coming in on the nicest jet,
Yeah.
and he comes in this rinky dink, you know,
And that little goes right in front of the plane.
yeah,
Oh,
smoke coming out of it,
Yeah.
barely
It was-
hanging
it was
on.
cute.
Yeah.
There's Terry Kaiser, and so okay, is he the wizard or is he related?
Count Sprat.
Because he seems to be talking like he is the guy,
And he
Yeah.
remembers everything, doesn't he?
Right.
He's like,
Yeah, it's weird because then there was a line in there where he said something about like his ancestor, and I was like, but I thought
but
you
you know
were
everything.
hi-"
Yeah, I mean,
It was so confusing. And I was like, clearly we
is-
can't go on looks because
Family
Jason also
Diary.
looks exactly like
Ah.
his great
he could
uncle, grandfather.
he could be an animated corpse too. We
Oh.
know
yeah.
it
Oh,
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Descendant. Oh, okay. Celador says the descendant. I mean,
The Count's
I guess
family
they had to
just
put that
kept-
in there.
The Count's family just kept a good record.
So
Yeah,
they've all
they
been
were
really
real
upset
thorough.
for 1,000 years.
Yeah, they're just biding
Oh.
their time.
Oh God.
someday one of us is
Yeah.
gonna get that wooden lady.
And I appreciate Terry Kaiser's commitment to a villain bit. He was so fun in Tammy and the T-Rex. Turned it up to 11. Never hit the brakes. Same thing here. He's doing like, it's like a kind of a German accent. Sometimes it's Italian. Sometimes it's just Chico Marx. And you can tell he's kind of doing old Hollywood bits sometimes.
Yep.
You know? Plus, I think my favorite thing is like when somebody says something offensive and then the boss like tells, oh no, he actually said this. And he goes, oh, well, that's okay then. I don't know why, it's like 3 times. And I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Which is a carryover from the first movie.
Yeah.
They did that a bunch in the first movie.
So that was, I was happy to see. I'm like, oh, look at him. Look at him. This is going to be a fun villain. He's not going to be boring. He's going to be off the wall.
Yep.
I mean, when you...
Yeah. I love that the plan is
you basically
Bermuda.
have a wig for your mole.
Oh my God. When Hollywood said you could put some beats on it a la Bo Derek.
I died.
I was like, no. What a wild line to put in a film. And then we find out like his plan is, okay, here's what so there's like 2 parts, because it sounds like he wants Jessie. Like romantically, right? But also he's stolen the jewels and he wants to sell them and they're going to go to Bermuda?
Yeah.
Okay. The end goal is Bermuda. Ultimately, the end goal is Bermuda.
Because I figure you could just steal the jewels and go to Bermuda. But like he's become,
you gotta get
like
the girl.
It's a family thing. Every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Every Thanksgiving.
It's been
like,
grilled into his brain. Yeah. One of us will get
Do not embarrass the Spretzel name. You're gonna marry that statue someday.
Yep.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. You know what? Family obligations are rough.
Listen, sometimes you gotta show up to a family dinner. Sometimes you gotta wait 1,000 years to hopefully be there to take the necklace off a wooden lady. And have her fall in love and then move to Bermuda.
Yeah.
You know.
Life.
That old chestnut. Yeah.
Oh, family pressures.
So then we have the inevitable meeting of Mannequin and Man.
Had to happen.
He kisses her, right? He kisses her.
Yeah, well, no, he has to take off the necklace, but it never clicks in his head.
Yeah. Well, no, he kisses
her. It's the necklace till later.
Because he's Jack
Yeah. And
then,
what does he do? Oh, he like tries to wow her and he pulls out the sneakers.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
but you never seen these before.
Yeah, then she's like, they're just your shoes. And then he takes up a fire extinguisher and then he just lights it up and she passes out.
I do like Christy Swanson in this because that role could be really annoying. Like, I don't know what this stuff is, but she's just like, oh, this is fun. Or when he takes her out to the Philly cheesesteak and she's like, what's that crunchy part? And it's not, she's not embarrassed. She's like, but it's good. You should try it. I was like, listen, who knows? She was in medieval times. The paper probably tastes great to her.
Probably.
Honestly, that's probably what I forgot what she says that she used to eat, but she was. This is a whole new world. It's a whole new world for her.
Yeah, we know that her friend got eaten by a boar once. We know that it was a tough life. We know it was a tough life.
Peasant girl in that kingdom. Tough gig.
But her hair is like the amount of 3 hairs.
Yeah.
It's so much hair.
It's so much hair.
So
and it's like
much.
Down to her butt. There's so much hair. It's magnificent.
Yeah. Yeah, like length and width.
Volume there. Teasing the shit out of it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know what they put in medieval hair, but like I would love that.
Ton of moose. So much moose.
Actual moose.
Yeah, just real moose. Just moose fat.
Because this is when they have the night out and they go to the nightclub, which I love.
That's so cute when they're walking and she's like, he's explaining that he hasn't been able to get in and she just says, oh, so royalty only.
Yeah, that was cute. There's lots of little cute lines there.
Yeah.
Or not to skip too much, but when they're they're in there, and the waitress is like, yeah, they don't have any yak milk. Here's like a diet Pepsi, and he's explaining what like it's like, oh yeah, it's like a liquid. She's like, oh, like there's like it was no calories, no nutrition, or she's oh like water, and he's like it's more plentiful, and I was like, holy crap, someone has opinions.
Yeah, I was like, that's a bold line for a
Yeah.
really offbeat rom-com.
Yeah. But I
Good for you.
I skipped the part where we see the guy running the door, who is
Ugh.
also Meshack Taylor.
So weird.
I wonder
He
if they're
was
like,
killing
listen,
me.
come back, and we'll let you do some other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, we're gonna
More
let you play a
character
bunch
work.
of characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go
He was
crazy.
cracking me up because he hollers at him, has him come in, and then he's just. I would watch like 30 minutes of him just talking shit to
Judging
everyone in a line.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah.
great.
What
Or
is this,
like,
prom night? Get out of here.
or like, ditch the boyfriend you're in. She's like, sorry. I was like, fair enough. That
So
guy's
good.
hair needed a fix. Okay.
It was a lot.
I can't believe he went out like that. She deserves a night out.
Yes.
Fix your shit.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
And
She don't want
like,
no
what
scrubs.
yeah. Oh, okay. So then there's a thing where she's looking. Well, this is another cute bit of dialogue. She's looking for like, oh, where are the trees?
Oh my god.
And
That
he figures,
was
oh, the
friggin'
rest.
hilarious. I love that that's what
cute.
she asked for, and then he also got it.
Yeah.
He got it.
I
'Cause
was
it
like-
probably would have taken me a little.
I would have been so lost. Yeah.
And then there's like this really cute moment where like there's that other woman there.
Because
And
of the lipstick,
With the
right?
lipstick?
And here's the thing, it's that classic, like sometimes when you're in a ladies' room and there's support system, like she doesn't like judge her for not knowing what lipstick is. Lets her use it, which is wild to me. But like
Insane.
tells her like put it on and then you rub your lip. I was like, aw. Sometimes ladies help ladies.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
And then
girls'
later in the
bathroom
club,
is
she
always the
smiles
best.
at her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I like this energy. I've seen that energy before. It's lovely.
Yeah.
When it happens, it's lovely.
And it was sweet where, like, I know it's kind of weird, but also, like, it was sweet where he's like, are you okay in there? Like.
Because he knows. He's like, I just sent a medieval peasant girl into a modern restroom.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like,
no.
I'm still out here. I'm like, he's a sweetheart and an idiot.
Yeah, she's looking for trees. He did not explain this setup to her at all.
That
No,
was my
just
thought.
Go
I
in
was
there and
like,
have at it. I'm gonna go
there
shit
are
in
no
the sink.
trees in there, right? Like,
She'll go somewhere. It's fine.
She'll figure it out.
You tell me that club hasn't had people go in the sink before.
Well,
Come
that's
on.
100%.
Yeah.
No.
Fair.
Okay, and then that dance scene, which has several levels.
Wow. There's so much happening.
Yeah. But at first I was like, you know what? I was not expecting him to get on the dance floor and start moving however he was moving. With not an embarrassed bone in his body. I think he might have he should have, but he didn't. He was just
shame.
going in circles, whipping his head around. I think he was trying to whip his hair.
Was so
but he doesn't have any.
Intense.
Yeah. But then, so I was like, okay, this is interesting. But then I love this. She's like, oh no, that's not dancing. This is dancing. And she starts doing like a little medieval, like a Knight's Tale dancing, the Golden Years scene. And then, and I was hoping in my heart, I'm like, please happen. And it did. Everybody else starts dancing like it. I'm like, oh, movie, you knew what I wanted.
Yep.
You knew what I wanted. Is this the new dance?
So crazy. I was like, I love that this entire nightclub is like, yeah, we would do like a little waltz right now. This is cool.
And there's little characters in there too. There's like the 3 dudes who are dressed the same with the hats, and then later they're all dancing with ladies who have taken their hats and are wearing them. And then they have like the 2 redheaded like new wave people.
Yep.
I was like,
that scene
they put the time. Yeah, they put the time in to make it seem like a strange, cool club, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Listen, only in Philly.
He takes her home and knows enough to sneak her in.
Yes.
And because the mom's is just curious, but she appreciates his privacy, even though she's asking him a lot of questions about why he's making breakfast. I don't think he's making breakfast though. He's making a mess.
Like the juice, the freezer juice from the can kills me. That was a flashback.
Oh my god! Like, a half of concentrate in each glass? Each
glass.
God,
yeah, I'm of a generation that understands that's messed up, buddy. That's too much. He's putting stuff
That's
in the
like
toaster that does not belong in the
for
toaster.
a picture. It's for a
A
picture.
picture. I'm like, has he done this before? Is this the first time he's attempted this?
It's the first time she's let him in there. Just
She's like, "You're cooking. What's the occasion?"
Yeah,
You're like,
but like in a
"Well,
weird, like
stop
not in
him
a
though."
right. Like she's just like, oh my god, my little boy has someone over. I want to be respectful, but also I want to know everything.
Yeah.
And then I guess she doesn't remember about the necklace because she legit just puts that necklace right back on and becomes a mannequin again.
the writer didn't remember that.
Yeah.
There's a
the
whole
rules that they
point.
set up in the joint spell casting.
Right?
God.
Like,
So-
did she not know that that's what turned? Like,
Oh wait, she wouldn't have known, right? Technically, because she turned two, right?
you know what?
Am I misremembering the timing?
I'll give
Where,
the
like-
movie that. That could be right where she was already statue.
Because he starts yelling, doesn't he, when they turn her into it?
I think
Because
so.
like he puts it on her and he's like, I'll always love you or something like that. And then she turns to
okay,
the
yeah.
wood, and then they start yelling. Oh, the mother's
Okay.
like, it wasn't me, it was the wizard.
Oh yeah, I'll buy that for $1. But no, you're right. You're right, KP. I think that actually okay. Movie, I apologize. Movie. Also,
she doesn't know. It's two idiots that don't know how this magic works.
also gives us two fantastic things. One, he drops that breakfast so no one has to put that in their mouth. And two, his mom walks in with him, absolutely fully bodily autumn mannequin.
oh my god! Like,
and she
where
knows
he's just like,
he
wake
spent
up.
the night with that mannequin.
so awkward and so
something
great.
that I love about both Mannequin movies. They just are people are just like, yep, this guy fucked the mannequin. Or he's regularly fucking the mannequin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's
that'll
all
happen.
real weird.
It's
You know
just
what?
so funny.
It's the big city. It's Philly. It's Philly. We see all
Like,
sorts
what
of
are you
stuff
gonna
here.
do?
Well,
It's just this is what happens.
You ever you watch Lars and the Real Girl and they treat the sex doll like she's real?
Aw.
And have you seen that, Megan?
No, I haven't. It's Ryan
Gosling.
Gosling. Yeah, I know of. Yes.
Yeah,
I will
so
have to
he
put
has
it
the
on my
sex
mannequin
doll,
list.
and he treats her like that's his girlfriend, and then the rest of the townspeople treat her like she's real and like take her on outings. And there's like this famous scene, like one of my favorite scenes where he is. They're supposed to go out on a date night, but one of the neighbors has come to pick her up to take her to reading hour. And he's like yelling at her from where the doll is in the passenger seat of the car, and the neighbor's like, she has a busy life outside of you.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I do like when an entire town gets in on something where they all just have that weird belief.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. All right,
so they wake up, she turned back into a statue. He's been caught with his mother, by his mother, like.
So and then this is a little again nuts to me. So he takes her back to the department store and he starts going, I mean, was she real? You spent an entire night with her. Why are you doubting yourself?
He took her to the diner first.
Oh my god, I forgot. That was so sad. I blocked it out because I'm like, what are you doing, buddy? Do not do this.
He's like
depressing.
The fact that he walked in there with her.
It's
like
the entire scene.
Because the thing about Mannequin 1 is he's carrying her around, but he's carrying her around the department store.
Right.
Yeah.
It's working. It's work. He didn't take her out to breakfast.
Into the women's restroom. Yeah, it's working in the women's restroom.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, he's still in the store.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so weird. I forgot that. I'm like, oh no, it got sadder. It got sadder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just was like, I need to decompress about this without the watchful eye of my mother.
So I'll
just the watchful eye of complete strangers outside the window.
Yeah, he could just never go to that diner again.
Had they not been there, that would have been the most tragic scene of all time. Like, if there weren't people outside, like, pointing and laughing, like, cheesy rom-com, it would have been utterly depressing.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. Oh my god.
Would have been just a sad guy sitting at a diner table with a mannequin.
Oh god.
Holy crap.
Okay, let's see what's happening. Because we don't have Hollywood on board yet.
Yeah, because they go back to the department store, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They get back. Oh, right, because the count and the guy show up, and at
goons.
first they can't find her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, like, oh no, he's just been, all I can imagine is he's just been wheeling her around. Just like, wake up, because he's just
Like
like
a
wheeling
lost
her
puppy.
past. Yeah, when they see.
He probably
like-
tried to kiss her again.
Oh
Probably.
God. Oh God.
Gotta
He's like,
split
was
her.
it that?
Because that's when, okay, so they leave her there. Hollywood's like, I'll watch her. Everyone else leaves. And then Hollywood's like, oh, that's a cool necklace.
And then
I'll
puts-
try it on. And then we get Mannequin Hollywood for a second.
And he looks so good.
Yeah, I was like,
Best
oh,
mannequin in the movie.
best one. They took their time, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hollywood deserves it.
Yeah, Meshach's like, I will sign this contract, but my mannequin needs to be impeccable.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have to approve it every step of the
Yeah.
way.
Yes.
Right. And then the goons come back and take the necklace off because like, oh hey, you're stealing our jewels, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they figure it out at that point? I don't remember. I don't think they
I don't
I think
remember
they just he
either.
falls down and they just assume he was human the whole time.
Yeah, I think they just thought he was stealing it because he was like, well, I'm on the floor and I can't figure out what's going on.
Oh, and
but-
didn't the count like yell at him where he's like, "You're ruining our plans," right?
I think,
Yeah.
I forget
think
where, but that
so.
whole thing happened somewhere in like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's also when Jessie sneaks out because she's like, oh, I'm alive again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's
gonna
like-
grab. I'm just gonna boop pop boop pop.
I don't know
She's ready to
how.
live. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's ready
like-
to live. She takes off.
I'm going to go buy a bunch of stuff at the store.
On the man's card. Yeah. On his employee card. Ooh.
My heart was going like, oh no, she's buying furniture. She doesn't understand how this commerce works. He'll be in debt forever. This is not a comedy anymore.
No.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
horror
this is-
story about the about credit card
no.
debt.
The perils of consumerism by
Just
way of
got a
mannequin.
job. He's not getting paid
Yeah.
too much. Oh God.
It's
Ugh.
his second day.
He'll be fired anyways.
True.
And then like, okay, the furniture salesman, like how, like he had that glint in his eye. It's like, oh, you don't understand how this works, but you do have an employee card.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he
What a-
knew.
What a dick.
Oh, I was like,
It
this
was
guy,
like-
I don't like this store. This
It's like,
store
I'm
is
not
full
going
of
to have a
assholes.
shift with that kid. Eh.
Yeah.
Right, right. And but she gets like an outfit.
Is
What
that
else
when?
does she?
Did they do like a makeover on her?
I was going to say, is
They-
that when they do the
exactly,
makeover?
They do. I forget exactly when, but we might as well put them together because at a certain point they
That's our
start looking for
montage.
her 'cause she's missing again, and she's like, "Oh, I need to look different." And for different, they just put her hair up.
Yeah, I was like literally the same. You're
Yeah, and
also
then-
Christy Swanson. You're fine.
And then she tries on hats, but it's like 3 hats that they just keep repeating.
Yep.
I was like, I've seen that happen. I was like, movie. This has to live up to the first movie when they're just like having fun in the store all night, trying on stuff. But instead,
Yeah.
she has like 2 dresses, and one of them is basically a church dress. I was like, no, get her out of that floral monstrosity right
Yeah.
now. And like 3 hats that they just keep going around.
It was very strange.
In
Yeah.
the
was like,
first movie, they sleep under those furs. They were not skimping.
Oh my
No,
god!
right?
I was like, are there cameras? Oh
There
my!
were furs.
He asked that.
Right?
And then
And then
Sophia
people are
herself
gonna buy
says,
those.
"Yeah,
People are
they're
gonna
like,
buy
they
those.
thought it was performance art."
Yeah, that was
God.
weird. They were like, "Oh, well, it works." I'm so
Well, because they had been chasing him around for like anytime he was walking into any other room with
Yeah.
a closed door with the mannequin.
It's my favorite part of the first movie. I was like, oh my god, it's like the scene in Night of the Comet, except for the world hasn't ended. So there's still civilization and society at the end of the night. It just depends on like your emotional level, which
yeah.
you need to see at any one
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so we
Fair.
have that. Oh, well, and then we have the chase scene
Mhm,
where all of a
mhm,
sudden she
mhm.
knows how to drive like a little race car.
Wha-
She figured it out, everybody. Good for
Amazing.
her.
Osmosis.
Amazing.
I don't know.
Because all of a sudden it's a chase scene. You got the goons and the count, who at one point has a crossbow from the second floor shooting at people.
Yeah. Yeah. Be like, ma'am,
then,
get
yeah.
down. Get down. I was like, this,
Mayhem.
this
Thank
is
you.
too much. This is too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love it
Hollywood's
all.
there at this point. Actually, I feel like we missed the point where they're talking in Hollywood is like because
tells Jason like, yeah, this has happened before.
Yeah, Jason's like, okay, listen, I think she was alive. And she's like, oh yeah.
He's like,
just instantly like, oh yeah.
That tracks.
I was like, I love it.
Store
He's
He's like, now I have to take you under my wing. Here we freaking go again.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh god.
Yeah.
So they had this like big chase scene, and that one part where he's like, avoid the window, and she's like, drive through the window, and just launches this little car and her and Jason. Well, Jason gets hit off, like right off into the street.
Yeah.
So insane. And then she just keeps going.
Yep.
Going
and finds her way home.
Oh god, yeah, she finds her way back to his house.
Because then he gets there and he's like, she's got a good sense of direction.
Yeah, and all the new furniture has arrived, and his mom apparently welcomed her right in.
And then she tells him that what she did, and he's like, "Oh, isn't that we're gonna be in trouble? But isn't that cute?" Like,
yeah. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I'm in danger. Like,
oh, but then the Count shows up and is like, "Hey, he stole our statue and our jewels, and he runs up first so he can take the necklace off." So bum bum bum. And then like everyone's in that house at one point. Everybody's in the house. The bosses, the goons are in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hollywood was killing me with the mom.
Oh my god, she's like, oh. And then the Count kisses her hand at the end, and she's like, oh.
And she like faints.
And Hollywood. I'm always left holding the bag, and then she's like, "Excuse me." Yeah! No offense. Like,
that was great. That was great.
Oh, and then they cart Jason off to jail, right, for stealing.
That's when he goes to jail. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god! Because then we get
breakout prison scene.
Yeah, because like so Hollywood was played a lawyer the first movie, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
I just remember him ripping off the suit because he was saying that he had to go into the board meeting. Right.
Right.
Is that the part that you're talking about? Where
I think so. I know that it was established that he has been able to like
change
play
costumes.
the system.
Yeah.
A man of many disguises.
Yeah. Yes. He's an artiste. So he goes in. I think he's supposed to be a Marine or something.
Yeah, he's Sergeant.
You
Sergeant
need no
Butch.
paperwork.
Sergeant.
Apparently,
Butch.
you need no paperwork. You just have to go in and say, "Oh yeah, he went." Well, he's like
AWOL.
Powder. Do you mean AWOL? Yes, he went AWOL. I was like,
so good. So
and it gets him out. It gets a little dicey at the end, but then they just run. So, hey, everybody, if you need to get a friend out of jail, just pretend to be the military.
That made me laugh so hard when they're in the hallway and the screech he lets out. And like,
oh, it's so good. He's so good.
Hollywood's a very good friend because that was a risk right there.
Well, he already did that because in the first one, he got the hose and he turned it on all the security guards.
Yeah. Hollywood respects no authority but the heart's authority.
Yeah.
True love.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so then we get the finale.
Because they're all balloon, right?
Yeah, but first the show.
Oh,
yeah.
Because they're all there at the giant stage that they have at this department store.
Yep.
And so I guess Hollywood's has not been indicted in any of this. So he's still being allowed to put on this show where they're going to present again, the show I don't understand, where they're going to present a statue with a dance number, and they've snuck in Jason, and I think they've automatically rewritten this entire thing for Jason to be a part. And then you have the Count sitting next to the boss, and then Jason's mom's there too. So like everybody's there, and we get to see the dance number he was hiding, which is fine. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I was like, I think you spent too much time chasing a mannequin.
Yeah.
And you could have spent more time finishing that dance. But
though that costume change is great because it's a scene cut, and then they're just wearing different things. I was like, that's magic.
Yeah.
Movie magic.
And then I guess this is how they're going to stick it to the Count is Hollywood is the narrator, and he's going to tell the story of the statue and the evil Count, which I'm like, Count, why are you worried about what he's saying? Everything's going to plan. It doesn't, but I guess he has an ego because he doesn't like that Hollywood's like, there's an evil Count and he's a jerk, but the prince will save the day. And turns out Jason, one had an entire kind of Prince pirate costume. and 2 has good upper arm strength because he like swings in from like a ceiling down in an Errol Flynn move.
Yeah,
that was kind of nuts, but
Right.
I mean, good
And
for
then the
him.
audience like rolls with the fact that he comes up, like kisses her, and they figured out it's the necklace. So they see the statue become real.
And they're like, wow, that was impressive.
Oh, hey, everyone's enjoying the show, even when the Count now gets up, yells at everyone for being stupid Americans, and decides to sword fight.
You're like, wow, this entertainment is great.
Yeah, they went with the entire thing. Oh my god, it's meta.
All of my favorite shows take place at the department store. So
right,
yes,
like I would be upset I missed that show.
Yeah, right.
But of course, the Count plays dirty and pulls a gun.
Yep.
You brought a gun to a knife fight.
Yeah,
come on, man.
He grabs Jesse, and the goons say they have created a vehicle all set for the escape. It's a perfect vehicle. So they go up to the roof, and is it a helicopter? Oh no, is it some sort of plane? Why would it be? It's a giant rainbow hot air balloon.
Yep.
And the Count is a little upset, but the goons think it's romantic.
Yeah.
It's so adorable.
And this is why you gotta pay for good goons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm worried about that country.
One brain and some brawn. You can't be both. Like
they meant well, but also they're not smart.
No, they're there for looks.
Their hearts are not smart. So. But then we get we got the Count and Jesse on the hot air balloon, and of course it starts to take off and the rope's dangling, so Jason grabs it because he's still in the Errol Flynn outfit. I'm like, oh, that's a bad idea, but it works for this movie. I guess I'm like, nah,
this is not realistic, but I'm fully on board.
Very romantic. He's fighting for his woman.
So he's going up because the Count's getting all creepy with her, like, we're gonna be all romantic and stuff. I'm like, ew, gross. No, gross. I don't need this right now. But that's okay.
Because you're going to die.
It's not going to end well.
But the movie plays that thing where neither of them actually causes death. Because Jason almost pushes him over. He's like, I can't do it. And then the Count's like, I can do it. Almost pushes him over. But then they put the necklace out. I was like, oh, smart. Because is it Jesse that does it?
Jesse puts it on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I think they give her, like, at least she had some,
Yeah.
And then they accidentally knock the Count mannequin off. They make it very clear that it's an accidental and not a. You should probably just chuck him off though. Like, and this is
just.
You can chuck. It's okay, movie. I'm not going to judge these people. They can chuck him off.
He was trying to kill them very hard. But I laughed really hard because as he fell, he was making the Looney Tunes Wile E. Coyote song.
Oh yeah.
And the goons are running.
They're trying so hard to catch him.
And
they're yelling like Bermuda as they're running, aren't
they? They're so focused at the point.
That
and
is
I just love
all they're actually concerned about.
He breaks, but they're like, no, it's
we
okay.
Can put him back together, and then the street sweeper.
The street sweeper comes along.
And squashes that, and then the dramatic Bermuda.
Aw, I felt a little sad for them at that point. I was like, aw. That's all they had going for them.
Yep.
That was their whole. Like, are they stuck in Philly now? Like, is their home country not going to take them back?
Well, we did see that the Count statue is glued together with his ear, like upside down and on his cheek, back in the home country. So maybe they're there.
So
they scraped them together barely.
And clearly we're in charge of gluing them back together.
Yes.
Took a Spirit airline trip to the only transatlantic one.
Yep.
And then a happy ending. And Hollywood very graciously allows them to use his Cadillac as as the wedding thing. But also there's a bunch of people in there. His mom's in there. His boss is in there for some reason.
So weird.
Was it the security guard and the perfume counter woman?
Yeah, they get together.
They get together and
he got to have his big moment where he used the hairspray like mace, and I'm like, you know what? That is still not gonna mess your eyes up.
I mean, that's gonna be.
And apparently that's all she needed to see. I don't know I don't understand their relationship, but you know,
she was like, "You're so aggressive," and I was like, "Okay, so this is very odd and problematic now." But
I was like,
I did like he said it's firm hold. I'm like,
it's
okay, I'll buy that. That was cute.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, and they drive off to the song from the first film, which KP, you said it was nominated for an Academy Award.
Yeah, best original. So for Mannequin, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now received a nomination for best original song at the
Amazing.
60th Academy Awards.
That's
Wow, what a year.
amazing.
What a
That's
year that had to
amazing.
And
be.
they said, we are going to use this again.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I
I
heard
did
it, I'm like, there you
see
go, movie.
yeah,
There you go.
perfect,
Now
perfect.
I
Yeah.
feel love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Hey,
saw
here's
a, letterboxed review that said there should be as many Mannequin movies as there are Mission Impossible movies, but they should all end with Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now.
Yeah.
I'd watch every single. I'd
I was
watch
like,
every single one of them.
I think this
So,
is a great
yeah.
idea.
So I
I'm
guess
in.
like I was thinking about this shower thought, I guess, and my brain was like, what would be a Mannequin movie, you know? And then I'm thinking
Oh.
of like one of the I used to do martial arts, and there was like the bobs that the punching bags. I was like,
Ah.
we got a mannequin. Okay, so what happens is the department store. It's now closed, but it's become like, you know, a bunch of different shops, right?
Mhm,
And one of them
mhm.
is a gym.
I love
the
it.
gym
I'm in. I'm in.
is one
I'm
of those
in.
bob things, and it comes to life.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's about the death of the department store.
Yes,
Reusing
see, you
it, and then
understand.
yeah, love it.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in. It could
I
have a bit of a
mean-
dying dead mall feel to it.
Yeah.
I just made it into a horror film. I apologize.
No,
Well,
it's
I
and
was
I
gonna
was
say-
like, we have to. I was like, we have to have a horror one though, but we gotta
Yeah.
let's do it all.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
A
that
horror- a
department
horror
store
rom-com.
closes, it's turned into a spirit Halloween.
Okay, there we go.
Look at all
Did
of
it.
these characters that could come to life.
Yeah.
Once again, we are giving gold out into the
Yeah.
world.
Just willing
I-
these movies to life.
I
I
do
will
have a
s-
bit. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No,
Oh, but before I forget this very,
Yeah.
very important bit of trivia.
Yes.
So Stuart Rankin, who was the boss, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So he actually has a famous role that we all know him as. He was Earl Sinclair on Dinosaurs, the voice of the dad.
No.
Yep.
No. It's
Yeah.
crazy because I went through his filmography because I was like, God, he looks familiar.
He's in
But
a
I was
lot
like-
of stuff.
Yeah, and he was in
Yeah.
like a bajillion. I didn't go that far back. That's amazing.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Because then I heard, I'm like, oh yeah, it's
Ah.
just him doing kind of this. He's doing like,
Yeah.
you
Yep,
know? Oh,
basically. Yeah.
anyway, I was like, yay.
That's awesome. Oh
Um,
my God, I love it.
I did do a quick fanfic search for
Oh my-
Mannequin,
Okay.
and there was 6 on AO3. I was surprised to find any,
Yeah.
but I was thinking about this, right? Because like the soulmate trope is really big, and you could use the second movie, and somebody did use the second movie as part of a story for Adrian and Peacemaker.
I mean, okay, like I'm thinking it through. You know what? This is one of the things fanfic is for.
Yeah.
This idea, the
Yeah.
evolution. You take that seed
Yeah.
and you plant it in another garden.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? I want to see these two characters deal with one of them is a prince, one is a peasant.
As long
mean, yeah.
as Eagly's in it.
I
like
did
Eagly.
not get that far, unfortunately. I still have the window open because yeah, Eagly needs to be there.
I saw a man hug an eagle. I think it was a sign. Every time it gets in. Well, I'm so happy we saw another Stuart Raphael movie unintentionally, but now it's a theme. He
Yeah.
brings
Hidden
the wacky.
themes. Yeah, I mean,
He has a
sure
certain sense of
does.
humor.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's a fun double feature if you watch both the Mannequins back to back.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, KP, how was that?
It was like they played like a romance series, right? Where like the tone was different because the first movie very horny, but like
Yeah.
PG, but still very horny. I felt like this one went a little bit more wacky, and the romance, like it was a little bit more like dumbed down because they're younger. So
Mhm.
it was enjoyable. Hollywood 10 out of 10, both movies.
Always. Oh my god.
Yeah, one thing I will find interesting. I do find interesting was when I was watching the second one, I was like, wow, some of these sets like look really like expensive. I think it was when they went to go do the dance performance. I was like, wow. So that's where I like looked up the budget on both of them. And the first one was made for like almost $8 million, and it made $42.7 million.
I love it.
Came out
Wow.
and it was a Valentine's Day movie. I think that's why. Like
people were
smart.
ready. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, Andrew McCarthy probably had, right?
Andrew McCarthy
1987, so he was
and
like
Kim
a big
Cattrall. So
and Kim Cattrall.
yeah,
This was a year after Big Trouble in Little China. On top of that,
Mhm.
so like,
oh my God, we got more Kim Cattrall. So many connections, and we already talked about Jack Burr in this episode.
Yes. What? So
look at
watching that, like, it made stupid money, and then this one they spent $13 million on, and they only made 3.8.
Ooh,
yeah,
rough.
It
was glad we got the second one.
Yeah, it was released in May of 1991. But I guess I'm curious too, because like, how do you go from Andrew McCarthy and Kim Cattrall at a lower budget, and then like for the second one, you're like,
yeah.
There was I saw a couple things and read a little bit, but it was a little confusing to me that like this was the last movie that like the production company made because they like
I can see why, because they
went bankrupt but like yeah, right, oh my God, I was like, this was it. But they like went bankrupt before the movie came out, and they had to like work all these deals to like get a distributor.
Wow.
And like, so it was like, it sounded like a disaster from the get-go. Like they would have had to make so much money.
We're lucky we got it.
We are though. Like, it's very enjoyable. It was it's
a fun time.
It's a fun little double feature. They're cute. They're fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think any wacky premise like that would be done today, kind of thing. Doesn't feel like, right? For like a mid.
I feel like not a movie that would be released in the theaters.
No, we've gone away
at the museum,
which is my nightmare.
oh God! Now we have to do an episode. We need to do an episode.
Oh yeah, no, I'll watch it, but like, I have a thing about taxidermy, and I thought I got over it.
Yeah.
So like, I thought I got over it, and then
we went to movies came out.
Well, no, this was only a couple years ago. Whenever in Buffalo, the Lego exhibit came through, a bunch of us went, and it was timed. So I hadn't been to the Buffalo Natural History Museum before. We're walking around, and then I'm like, oh, it's the room with the animals, like the dead animals in it. I was like, I'll be fine. I walk in there immediately. There's a polar bear on its hind legs. I look at it and turn around, and I said, I'll see you over here. So I thought I was fine. I was not. And I literally had a nightmare about it like a week ago. Like,
oh my God. Oh no. Damn you, museums. Why do you keep doing this?
No clue. But yeah, we can watch it at the museum. I mean, that movie's in Who. But yes, it is also like my biggest fear. Like,
you're like, I guess I die now.
Yeah. Like, this is my last one, everybody. Last episode.
Hey, this might be a kids comedy movie for you, but this is straight a survival horror for me. Oh okay. Do we have anything else to say about Mannequin on the Move or Mannequin 2 on the Move?
No.
I
want to respect like the title.
Exhausted this film.
Yeah, I think we did good. Yeah, we did good, y'all. So before I forget, hey, do you know? Let me click this button. Hey, okay. Hi. Do you know that we also do a film festival? Yes, this is what this is all about. This November 8th through the 12th. Why do I have 13th written in my script? Hey, follow what it says on the logo and not what I'm saying. I've lost it completely. Anyway, November 8th through 12th in Rochester, New York. If you show up the 13th, let me know. I'll show up because it's my fault.
If you show up the 13th, you're helping us pack up. Thanks.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That's true. That's our cleanup day.
Hey, so. we do have a mannequin, so come meet our mannequin.
Yep.
But yeah,
maybe she'll come to life.
Hi, we have like this cute little genre film fest called Anomaly. It's our 5th year. We're adorable, and we rarely ever hide stuff under people's seats. And when we do, they love it and they carry it around with them the rest of the festival. So, and you can get early Ghoul passes are now available on anomalyfilmfest.com/store. Save some money. You get them now, you're going to save money on the full festival pass. But in all honesty, even the full price, full festival pass is quite a deal, if I do say so myself. I'm going to wink. So if you know on the podcast, I winked. Wink. So, yeah, we did it, y'all. And I was running the board the whole time. So technology is great. Okay, thank you. So thank you all again for coming here, listening to us, and we hope to see you at the festival sometime soon. I also do not have the closing music, so I'm going to do it. This is a part of the Lunchador Podcast Network. Okay, we're done. Bye.